The afternoon sun hung low over Route 66, casting long, stretched-out shadows across the cracked asphalt. The air was thick, heavy with the smell of dry grass and exhaust fumes, the kind of heat that made the horizon shimmer like a desert mirage. Cicadas buzzed and whirred in the distance, their song blending with the deep rumble of passing trucks. A faint breeze carried the scent of wildflowers from the roadside, but it did little to cool the suffocating warmth that pressed down on everything, like a heavy, damp wool blanket. Harold Bennett sat on the worn wooden bench outside Willow Creek Retirement Home, his weathered hands resting on his knees. At 72 years old, his back was curved from decades of hauling equipment and climbing ladders, his skin mapped with wrinkles, earned from 38 years fighting fires. His pension barely covered the retirement home fees, and his wife, Eileen, had passed 3 winters ago, leaving him with nothing but photographs and memories. But despite the loneliness that clung tighter than the summer heat, Harold still had those same steady eyes that once stared down infernos without flinching. Before we go any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and standing up for what is right, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. And tell us in the comments where you are watching from, because stories like this remind us that humanity still exists in every corner of the world. That afternoon, Harold noticed a plume of black smoke rising from the intersection, about 200 yards down the road. His old instincts kicked in before his mind could catch up. Sir Harley-Davidson had collided with a pickup truck, and the bike was pinned beneath the vehicle, flames already licking at the gas tank. Harold pushed himself up from the bench, ignoring the sharp pain in his knees, and shuffled, as fast as his legs would carry him, toward the wreck. When he reached the scene, he saw a massive figure trapped under the twisted metal. The man wore a battered black leather vest, the red and white Hell's Angels patches visible through the smoke. Tattoos crawled up his thick neck, and his arms were like tree trunks. But in his eyes, Harold saw something he recognized. Not rage, not defiance. Fear. Pure, animal fear of dying alone, in flames. Other drivers had stopped, but they stood at a distance, phones out, recording. No one moved to help. Harold could have stayed back too. A Hell's Angel, most people would say. Let nature take its course. But Harold Bennett had never let a soul burn when he could do something about it. He had pulled children from apartments, dragged unconscious strangers from car wrecks. A patch on a vest meant nothing to a man who had seen what fire could do. Harold grabbed a lug wrench from an abandoned toolbox near the pickup and wedged it under the motorcycle frame. His muscles screamed, his back threatened to give out. But inch by inch, he lifted the weight, just enough for the biker to drag himself free. The flames roared higher, and Harold pulled the man clear, just as the gas tank erupted, in a ball of orange fire. The biker lay on the asphalt, coughing, his leather vest singed and torn. He looked up at Harold with disbelief. An old man in a worn flannel shirt had just saved his life. The biker searched Harold's face for a catch, for judgment, for disgust. He found none, just steady eyes and a slight nod. "My name is Marcus," the biker rasped, voice rough from smoke. "You could have walked away. Everyone else did." Harold shrugged, wincing as he lowered himself to sit on the curb. "Spent 38 years pulling people from fires. Could not stop now. Just because I am older and you are scary looking." Marcus let out a hoarse laugh, then gripped Harold's hand with surprising gentleness. "I will not forget this, and old man, our family does not forget." 1 week later, the morning air at Willow Creek was still and quiet, the residents shuffling through their routines of medication and bland breakfast. Harold sat by the window, watching sparrows peck at crumbs on the sidewalk. Then he heard it, a low rumble, distant at first, but growing steadily louder. It was not thunder. It was something deeper, more rhythmic. Harold's heart quickened as the sound became a roar. Motorcycles, dozens of them, then hundreds. The rumble shook the windows as 280 Harleys rolled into the parking lot of Willow Creek, their chrome gleaming in the morning sun. Leather vests everywhere, red and white patches blazing, like flags. The other residents pressed against the windows, some terrified, others simply stunned. Harold stepped outside, his legs unsteady, his mind racing. Had he done something wrong? Were they here for trouble? Marcus dismounted from the lead bike, his frame even more imposing in the daylight. But when he approached Harold, his voice was soft, almost reverent. "Harold Bennett," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You saved my life, when no one else would lift a finger. You did not care about my patch and my tattoos and my reputation. You saw a man burning, and you acted. Our family does not forget that." Behind Marcus, bikers began unloading trucks that had followed the convoy, building materials, paint cans, tools, boxes of food and supplies. Within an hour, teams of Hell's Angels were repainting the faded exterior of Willow Creek, fixing the broken railings that management had ignored for years, replacing the cracked windows that let in cold air every winter. One group hauled in a brand new television for the common room. Another set up a garden in the courtyard, planting flowers that would bloom in spring. The retirement home staff stood frozen, unsure whether to call the police, or offer coffee. The residents watched in amazement as these tattooed giants moved with purpose and care, speaking gently to the elderly, helping them to chairs when they wanted to watch the work. Marcus found Harold sitting alone, tears streaming down his weathered cheeks. "I cannot pay you for any of this," Harold whispered. "I have nothing left." Marcus placed a heavy hand on his shoulder. "You already paid. You gave me my life back, when the whole world was happy to watch me burn." He pressed an envelope into Harold's hands. Inside was more cash than Harold had seen in years, along with a simple note that read, "Family looks after family." Harold tried to refuse, but Marcus shook his head firmly. "This is not charity, old man. This is respect. And if anyone ever gives you trouble here, anyone at all, you call this number." He handed Harold a card with a phone number and a simple skull logo. "Our door is always open. You are family now." By sunset, Willow Creek looked like a different place. Fresh paint gleamed on the walls. New benches lined the garden. The residents sat outside for the first time in months, marveling at the transformation. And Harold Bennett, retired firefighter, sat among them. A warmth spreading through his chest, a warmth that had nothing to do with the scorching summer heat. He felt it deep inside, a comforting ember glowing bright. And before we wrap things up, we have one special request for you all. Sound off in the comments below with the phrase, "Heroes never retire." Let's show Harold and all our unsung heroes that their bravery hasn't gone unnoticed. What would you have done if you saw someone trapped in a raging inferno? Would you risk absolutely everything, or would you turn away like the rest? It's a tough question, one that stays with you. Make sure to smash that like button, share this video with your friends and family, and subscribe for more incredible stories. Because tales like this, they prove that courage, it has absolutely no age limit. Sometimes the oldest hands, the ones that have seen it all, can still pull someone from the fire, and sometimes, just sometimes, the most unexpected family, the one you never saw coming, is the very one that finds you when you need them the most. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? It really, really is.